Hello, this is old Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and today we're going to take a ride on a route that we've been on. If you've been following my channel, you've been on this route before, only last time it was gravel, much of it was, and this time it's all paved. And because it's all paved, I'm thinking maybe the pavement at the other end is also I'm sorry, the streets at the other end is also paved. So what we're going to do, looks like we're going to wait until we get the traffic done here. Okay, so now we'll go down over this curb. Put this in the pedal assist 5. When there's no traffic, we're gonna go. All right. So last time we went across the road and came onto this part, it was all gravel. Sorry about the interruption there, but that's the way it is when you're riding around construction areas. And I'm sorry, I have to apologize to normal people. Where I live here now, they're building houses more than you can imagine. New housing developments going in everywhere, and so if I'm going to take you on an e-bike ride or an e-trike ride, I keep saying the wrong word. If I'm going to take you on an e-trike ride, it's pretty much got to be in a housing development. But if this turns out to be paved all the way through to the other end, then I can take you into the park and we can do a few other things on our trike rides. Okay, so that's we're gonna check this out today and see if, since this end is paved, we'll see if the other end is paved, because last time we did this it wasn't. All right, so let's continue on with some stories. That I've been telling stories of my life. And the last one was when I was rooming my first year in college, and my parents said they pay everything, and so I was rooming with my buddy Henry. He went to high school with me. We did a lot of things together in high school. So I went to Western Washington University, and he followed me there, and so we were roommates. And everything's going on. This is fun. Anyway, we were roommates, and so we did a lot of things together. Well, last story I told you about the guys that lived across the hall. This time I'm going to try to tell you the story. Got a lot of breeze going on here. I'm going to try to tell you the story about Gary Eagle. If you know a guy named Gary Eagle, let me know. I'd like to get in touch with him again. He was a fun guy, very talented, and a lot of fun. But before I can get to his story, and we got a breeze blowing pretty hard here, before I can get to his story, I have to catch you up on everything. Remember if you remember, when I signed up for college, they asked me what I wanted to do for a minor, and I said, PE. Well, in the meantime, I was looking at job listings and all that kind of stuff, even though I was actually, they were in the PE department on the wall there. And there was 500,000 PE majors and minors, and 2 jobs available. Excuse me. And I got to thinking, well, maybe I should change minors. And since I already played the ukulele, the harmonica, and the piano. Maybe I'll sign up for, or just make myself be a music minor, because I like music. That'd be a lot more fun than teaching music than PE. So at the end of the first quarter, I declared to myself, I'm going to be a music minor. So second quarter, I started taking music, classroom music, 6 pianos in a classroom, and the teacher, teaches us theory and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I did. Well, I had to practice, and the music department was in the same building as the auditorium where they had their big events and stuff like that. And so I would go into the auditorium door, go up some stairs to the second floor for if I wanted to practice, and they had a hallway with about 10 practice rooms off to the side and 1 piano in each room. And so that's what I would do if I wanted to practice. Well, one day, one afternoon or evening, I got to the building after they had locked it up, so I couldn't practice. So then I thought, well, all I want to do is practice, So the next day when I went into the auditorium building, I said to myself, I'm going to set it up so I can practice anytime. And so I went over to the, they had dim lighting for everything. So I went over to the, went through the auditorium to the stage, went up the stairs, got behind the stage, and there was a stage door there, back door to the stage. And so I went out and I found a little stone, little rock that was just the right size to keep that door from closing and latching. And so then I put that rock in there, and then I could always go in that door if they had the front doors locked. So that worked pretty good. And then since I had my own special entrance, they had movies every Friday night, some old movie that was outdated, and they had movies, and so it cost $0.25 to get into the movie. And so me and my buddy Henry, we decided we'd go to the movie, and we paid $0.25 a couple times, and then I showed him how I could get in for free. So then we started going in the back door, and then when we would come off the stage, because there'd be people sitting in the auditorium waiting for the movie, and when we would come off of the stage, getting down here to where I might be able to find a street that's open. Anyway, we come off the stage, and we would act like we were real professionals, and we were supposed to be back there, and we'd walk like we were important, and we'd get back to the back of the auditorium and sit down back there for a while, or go up onto the balcony. We usually went in the balcony. So that's what we did. And we snuck in a bunch of times. Well, there was this other guy, I'm just winding my way through here. There was this other guy named Gary Eagle who lived in the dorm with us. And let's see if that's paved. That is paved. All right. Wonder if I can get through there. Ride my bike over there. Okay. Okay to ride my bike on this?
Yeah.
Huh? Okay, thank you. Okay. So now we can go down here, and I'm not going to go. I can see that this is not really open for the public, so I'm just going to go see if I can get off of this pavement onto the road I need to go on, which is right there straight ahead. And I got a real breeze blowing, so I hope it's not messing up my audio too bad. And I actually could go off there. And they got this all taped off. So it looks like I won't be able to get to the park easily and legally for another little while. They're widening the main road, and so it's construction all the way along it, and it's kind of a headache. So anyway, so I found out what I wanted to find out. Now, who is Gary Eagle? Let me see something here. All right. Gary Eagle was a very talented, very smart guy, and he lived in the dorm as we did. And so we were going to go to the movie, and he said, "Oh, you guys going to the movie?" "Yeah, we're going to the movie." And so he said, "Well, I'll just go with you guys." And so I said, okay. So as we were walking, we had to walk quite a ways to get to where the movie, or get to the auditorium. And so as we were going, he was telling us how he was such a good shot with a rock. He could throw a rock and hit anything. And so he told us about, there was this cat in his yard. He didn't want the cat in his yard, so he threw a rock, killed the cat from across the yard. And he said, "You want to see how good I am?" So we said, "Yeah." So he threw a rock at something, I don't remember what it was, amazing, but he hit it first time. So then he says, "All right, I want you to watch this." And so back in those days, I'll have to put a picture up. Back in those days, the street lights were a lot different than they are now. There was a light bulb that just hung down from the light fixture, and it was just what do you call it? Metal. Is a metal fixed with wrinkles in it. Can't remember the term now. Anyway, so there was a light bulb as we were walking along. He says, "Watch this." He threw a rock, and he broke that light bulb, and it tinkled to the ground. And so it was pretty amazing. Well, then, so we got to the auditorium, and we showed him how we could sneak in the back. It's funny how nobody ever checked for that rock. I don't know how to explain it, but nobody ever did. And so that rock was there. Might still be there. Anyway, so the rock was there, and so we showed him how we could get in. Now he was in the backstage of the auditorium, and all we had to do is walk across the back, walk up to the curtain and go around it, and go down the steps and act important and go sit down. But not Gary. Gary decided he was going to have fun. For one thing, he could make a sound like a cow, moo, and it sounded real. So he did that a couple times. So the people sitting out in the auditorium, they're hearing this cow in the back behind the curtain. Well, then they had this big trunk with no top on it, and it was filled with props, mostly clothing. And so he dug out, meantime he's making the moo sound, so he dug out a woman's dress and some high heels. And he goes over and would be stage right. He goes over to stage right. He makes the cow sound and then throws the high heels out onto the stage. I can't remember if we had people clapping or laughing. And then he does another one and he throws the dress out onto the stage. It's like somebody's undressing, you know. Well, next thing you know, here comes some guy running down. Well, we didn't see him coming. Anyway, he came up backstage. He grabbed us and led us out. We had to walk up to the auditorium, all the people looking at us and laughing. Anyway, so that's the story of Gary Eagle. He was a fun guy to hang around with, and just a special type of guy. So we're headed back. We found out that it is paved, but we can't get there. And I told you a story. I thank you for watching my videos, and God bless.